Today's coaster review is the Dragon Coaster, located at Rye Playland in Rye, New York. This coaster was designed by Frederick Church. For this ride, I was going with pretty good expectations, and I certainly got them. Pretty fun ride. It does have a max height of 80 feet, and has a length track of 3,400 feet. This coaster is surrounded by a bunch of buildings, so it was very hard to take footage. The only good footage you have to do is to go outside the park. So when you enter the queue line, nothing really much themed and a bunch of switchbacks. We only got 2 rides on this, and the GP were pretty bad, but I'll talk about that in my Rye Playland review. So when you enter the station, you have to scan your wristband, but that's pretty much on every ride in the park. So I won't be talking about this in this review. Probably in the park review. The station doesn't have theming. This coaster only runs 1 train. That's a vintage wooded coaster thing. And this ride has Morgan trains. The seats I thought were pretty small for Morgan trains. They're not as bigger as something like Steel Force or Phantom's Revenge. So that was a problem on this coaster. Now let's talk about the ride experience. So the POV belongs to Top Thrill Coasters. I'll put the links in the description. So first when you get out of the station, you turn right, then you are on the left hill. Then turn half circle, then the drop, and this pretty much reminds me of Thunderbolt at Six Flags New England, because after the lift and before the double down has a pretty much of a basic Thunderbolt layout. So if you've ridden Thunderbolt at Six Flags New England and not the Dragon Coaster, keep that in mind. Next, you have a double down, pretty much the same one as Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt also has a double down too, right after the second turn. Then after the double down, you enter the Dragon's Mouth. I was actually under the impression that this part of the ride had fog or spotlights. I didn't even see that anywhere, so it probably wasn't working. So once you're in the Dragon's Mouth, you have another turn, then a drop out of the tunnel. After that, another turn. Then you do have an ejector airtime hill. Then yes, another turn, another ejector airtime hill. Then another double down, small pop of airtime, another turn, drop, then into the brakes. So, is this coaster on its smoother side or rougher side? Is this coaster on its smoother side? And I gotta say this. I think it's a mostly smooth ride. Not the smoothest wooded coaster I've ridden, but this is a mostly smooth ride. So what row should you do on this ride? So I gotten 2 rides on it. I got once in the back and once in the front. They don't assign seats. I would go with the front. Even though it's a smooth ride, I honestly think the front has a better experience. So what am I giving it for its final score? I am giving it an 8 out of 10. That's actually pretty good for a vintage coaster. Usually it's pretty hard to give vintage wooded coasters a 10 out of 10 because they don't have the unique elements as what fairly new roller coasters have. But this ride has some positives. First, it's very long. It has a duration time of 2 minutes. Second, it's mostly smooth. Third, the Dragon's Mouth part can be intense. Now, the negative part of the ride is that the ride can have a lot of turns, pretty much like Excalibur, and this coaster has 20% chance of bumpiness. So that is it for my Dragon Coaster review, located at Rye Playland Park in Rye, New York. If you've ridden this coaster, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And of course, stay tuned for more Coaster Box videos. They'll be coming out shortly. Subscribe for more Coaster Box videos. Follow me on Instagram. Link will be in the description, and I'll catch you guys later.